Yo, this is Dova Blackhat Gaming. I do RPG games like Elder Scrolls and Fallout and many more. Subscribe to see more and enjoy the video.
If the animalculary is locked, then that means the heroes have disabled the molding process required to access the security system. Return to the lower level and search for the whereabouts of the key.
Hold on. Did you hear?
Sneaking past me? A grave mistake.
That's all you got! No! Huh? I knew it!
Hold on. Did you hear something?
Trifle with.
What was that?
Done and done. Who's there?
Force Roda!
Already lost. Can't beat me. Show me. I'll make you escape. That it? You've already lost. You don't have a chance. I'll see you can't show me. This is that's your I've had enough of you. I yield.
Oh, it's on. Good night. You asked for it. That's enough out of you. Oh.
State your purpose. Completing the simulations has pre-calibrated the system's language parameters to match your own. Estimation function is deadlocked. State your purpose. You are interacting with the security system for this facility. The shell you have selected is the Centurion, Central Clan Model Type 1. This shell is strictly for communication. It is limited to summoning animunculi if an extreme level of hostility is detected. This mode's dimensions are to scale with the facility, and is built for multi-purpose utility in addition to audible security system interactions. Fuel redirection, terrain demonstration models, aerial stability hub, emergency facility-wide management, and memorial communication. For security reasons, I have deemed non-negotiable unless an emergency arises in flight. Information on that function is restricted. Console translation for your language is currently set to off. Non-Dwemer interaction protocols are in effect. Permissions were modified before this console last went offline. Time records are unavailable. Request denied. Enter or recite the code necessary to terminate lockdown procedure. Invalid argument for circumvention. Unknown. Mechanisms are in place that allow for them to exist. There is no record of the security barriers being breached prior to reactivation. Diagnostics show no signs of sabotage. You lack proof of this claim, as well as the knowledge to know my inner workings. Self-testing on my testing procedures indicate that they are working as intended. This floor is not without access to those below. Correct. Security is managed by live personnel beyond the barriers. This is unprovable. Internal timer has stalled. There is no indication staff was not replaced. Internal timer has stalled. Judgment cannot be passed on possible absence of a routine maintenance without knowledge of time. There is a lack of sufficient evidence for this proposed threat. Resources are reserved for threats that are guaranteed to exist. The situation will be dealt with as it evolves. The barriers can be brought down through sabotage. They cannot be restored manually due to energy configurations being reset in the process. To do so would have required reactivation of the barriers the moment energy to this console was restored. Present evidence for this claim. Deadlock. Argument insufficient. You are not qualified for investigation. All animunculi not assigned to the upper floors by live personnel are restricted access. You lack proper authorization to override the behaviors of all animunculi modules. You lack proper authorization. You lack proper authorization. State the parameters that would constitute adapting to the situation. Internal timing is not functioning to assess the validity of this claim. Security management cannot be handled by one living individual. Continue. You believe to know this facility better than I due to these experiences alone. This system has been assigned a task that does not consider the living status of curators a factor in operations. Select a different mode if this model is not suitable. Request rejected. Mode resets are recommended if this model is not your preference. Confidence lock released. Lowering security barriers. Proceed to designated position for full access to this facility. Welcome back.
Back with more flattery, I see.
Son of a... No more. I yield. I yield. This is your last mistake. Never back down.
Your end draws near.
Yeah. Me. We're expecting it. You don't have a chance. Surrounded.
Give him hell!
I'll raise it.
Blood.
I used to be an adventurer, but then I took an arrow to my heart. You're a great shot, love.
Here you are at last. I was hoping I'd be able to welcome you to Sky's Divide as an ally, if only that was ever possible. I've been watching everything unfold from above. It all seems familiar, doesn't it? Just like the stories we were told. It's all coming together. I never understood why Purity was disinterested in this place. Isn't this something they would have wanted? A machine that can perform miracles? I wondered, until Virgil told me everything, until you arrived. It was always going to be someone like you, Dragonborn, and someone like me. It's an old pattern. Someone was bound to take notice, and our kind would have been set up sooner or later. Funny. You killed a World Eater, and, if fate decrees that you win here today, will take his place. The prophecy is fulfilled all the same. Countless possibilities emanate from that crystal. Nothing good, as I desperately wanted. The reunification of Tamriel? No. It wouldn't grant me that without bloodshed on an unprecedented scale. I was too weak to use it, because this, Dragonborn, is an ingenium. All the Dwemer souls of this island trapped within its confines. They're all this place needs to fly through time. But they're not enough for its true, diabolical function. Whatever the Dwemer intended for Sky's Divide failed the moment they used our acquaintance as a substitute for a soul. In doing so, they bound this island to the endless maw of the void. You saw it too, didn't you? These scars are my reminder. I never even came close to void material before that dream. Makes sense now, given the circumstances. It's been decided that you and I are to fight. The one who falls will be released from her game through death. The victor will be doomed to serve as the heart of this infernal machine. For the sake of Nirn, it has to be me. The first strike is yours. Once we start our duel, there will be no more talking. The Dwemer never intended for their crystal to be an ingenium. That was Salaquine's doing, by tricking them into believing the void material couldn't do such a thing naturally. It was always intended to contain one type of soul, and one soul only. The soul of a hero. Yes, Sky's Divide is exactly what you think it is. Not long after we first met in Jonestead, when I first arrived to the island, I knew what we had the moment I saw that crystal. But I didn't know the full truth, not until Virgil told me. What the Dwemer did backfired severely, and now Sky's Divide and Salaquine are one and the same. Forgive me. I'd have warned you if I had known any sooner. A part of me regrets helping you escape from innocence, but I knew doing nothing would have only delayed the inevitable. And I still needed someone to kill the matriarch before her own plans could go through. wish I could have, Dragonborn. But you were deeply embedded with the Sirens, with Matari. I couldn't let word get out about what I had in store, even to you. She always knew, though. You've been taking orders by the very golem that now needs you as her heart. And what a suitable match you are. You've lifted the island's anchors that were locked in such a way that they could only be opened by her when she returned. Yes, don't blame yourself. You needed to get to the top of this tower, and the energy that originally powered the security system was rerouted to those anchors. A clever way of forcing the host to synchronize with Salaquine one last time while simultaneously freeing the island from its shackles. With the anchors lifted, there's nothing stopping this island from traversing time to escape discovery or carry out its final duty. You would have to ask her yourself if you can tolerate the lies. You want to know my dreams now, at the end of all things. I intended to reunite Tamriel under a new ruling body that surpassed the Septim Empire in its prime. Peace would have spread throughout the land as the Thalmor were cast out from their seats of power in the Somerset Isle. With them gone, Tamriel could then turn its attention to Akavir and other lost lands of Nirn to purge the world of malicious forces. In their current form, yes. And who would be if we were to resist that change? It has been everything we strive for. A day when we would no longer be needed. The heroes of Nirn could have been repurposed to safeguard Sky's Divide from those who would seek to do it harm or take it for themselves. No, someone more capable than I. We would have figured something out, I'm sure. Maybe we'd have found a magecrafter skilled enough in creating a replica. Maybe one constructed out of the Heartstones from Solstheim. No, that wasn't the plan. It would have not been by intention. Tamriel finds itself in a similar situation as it did back in his time. I intended to carry it further so we would not have to fall as far as we have these past 2 centuries. Not with Sky's Divide. Now will you fight, or will you surrender so that Nirn is spared from your wrath? There must be more to it than that. If it was only for Sky's Divide, Salaquine would have settled for me. I'm less of a hassle. Whatever the case, Salaquine never could achieve full control over you in Tamriel. Back there, you were still tied to prophecies in Skyrim's history, making it impossible to outright remove you. But here, time is twisted and broken. If she manages to pull it off, you'll be trapped here for eternity. And the worst part? No rules will be broken. You'll still be alive. What secret, Dragonborn? How could you not have seen what the Sirens really were? Their behavior, their mannerisms, it was in their speech. All you had to do was listen, even for what was never said. Most of all, it was their blind love of Matari. After all we've been through, I hope you never once considered the Sirens more than temporary allies. If some mistaken sense of loyalty to their cause is what brought you here to die, then I have nothing to spare but pity. Never. Even now, I'm uncertain of their size. I had no presentable proof to my claims. All I had was my knowledge of history and its cyclical nature. If I came to you, would you have believed me? Would you have gone to Matari with questions, provoking her to heighten her pace? It wasn't worth the risk. Sky's Divide would have halted the coming war before it reached Tamriel's shores. Yet here we are. I never knew we'd catch the first glimpse of the invasion before our passing. Not anymore. The trap was sprung when I made the mistake of coming to the island. It's like Virgil said, the fates of those who set foot on Sky's Divide are bound to its future. It's my fault for leading you here. We have nowhere to run. Akaviri fire burns what remains of my men's ships. And yours would never get us past her energy field, especially not while she determines we have unfinished business. I must convince myself to fight you. Only then is my success made a possibility. I'm the backup, Dragonborn. Sky's Divide and I will share the same struggle. But if I'm strong enough, I might find a way to stop her from within. In one instance, you'll win, as usual. The other has me emerge victorious. Alongside this crystal, under her watchful eyes, both will have occurred. That is Sky's Divide's curse. Our own free will used against us so that she wins, no matter who dies. It would be as if we never got involved in this war in the first place. After all she's done up to now, you know she's planned for that as well. Futile as it may ultimately be, I believe I'm the one who has the best chance at stopping her. You, second. If we both die, so does Nirn's hope at welcoming the next era. Of course. They were allies once, and still were to a degree during their war. Virgil had prepared for defeat. If Project Purity failed to halt Matari's advancement in Skyrim, her means of accomplishing final victory would remain intact. Skies divide. It was a race to see who could enact their world-ending device first. Virgil wasn't one to be petty about losing to her former master. They shared similar ambitions. It was in her best interests not to eliminate Salaquoin's ability to win entirely, only to undermine the Sirens so Purity could come out on top. Then we will see how well you do in battle. Even without battle, you will die with honor. Are you ready? Then we will make it our best.
Hope everyone enjoyed the video. Like, comment, and subscribe. And hit the bell icon. See you all on the next video. Enjoy life. And stay.